2 years in a row where January 1st gives us 3 new signings, and I'm very interested to see what Ming and Yu have to offer. Oh hey look, we made the news! We're the biggest overachievers of last season, and we had the best match of the year. And of course, as the overachievers of last season, it's only fair that the season preview still treats us as an anomaly. As the transfer window progressed, I hopefully solved my Turkish defender woes by selling Yoon Dae-hwan. He was a good servant for the club, but we're moving on to bigger things now, and I just don't think he'll be able to keep up with the expected ambitions. And would you look at that? The issue's resolved. Wait, what the fuck? Why are people angry that I ever murdered and was sold? He's still right there. As previously established, whenever I'm offered a new contract, I reduce my wage demands to the bare minimum to try and help the club recover its debt. But this, however, this feels illegal. What do you mean I'm on £5 a week? And oh, that might be a first for us. One of our players is the odds-on favourite to be the best player in all of China, and social media seems to confirm the hype behind this find, which makes sense considering he scored his debut goal in the first 5 minutes of his debut. What's that I see? A classic cup draw. Second division side gets their hopes and dreams crushed by us. So I didn't actually properly scout Cheng Ming when I offered him a contract. It turns out he's a consistent representative on the national team, and he scored this filthy piece in the second match of the season. The star was then injured in the week that followed against the league leaders, with a result that secured a 5-way tie for first. Game week 4 takes us to the home ground of my Achilles heel, the Three Towns, and we have finally broken the curse. Our first ever 3 points against them, including this cheeky assist from Wang Peng. Meanwhile, my starting goalkeeper broke his hand in the 4th minute of 3 minutes of extra time, shaking my head. Funnily though, the 2 minutes that my sub-keeper played earned him a spot in the top 3 of the league for clean sheets. Oh, goodbye clean sheet standings. Okay, but seriously, with the stage of the season where we have 2 games a week, we can't afford to get this many injuries. But despite these issues, our undefeated streak stays alive with a come-from-behind victory against the consecutive title winners, only for this great result against tough competition to be followed by a fight with a newly promoted team who actually turned out to be our toughest match so far. And there's another injury. 4 of these are important players, and one of them is the first choice sub for one of those important players. And then we pick up our 6th injury in a game where we barely scraped a point. Following this, we entered the FA Cup and it was a disaster. For them. Wang Peng scored a hat-trick of penalties, and in doing so broke a club record for most goals in a game. Oyono then fails his penalty that would have secured a hat-trick in a game that takes us top of the league. Are we the best team in China? Surely not. And then, right after that successful match, we agreed to this news. I'm very happy about this. Never mind. The Mighty Lions have ended our winning streak, and I believe that's my former winger that secured the win. We bounce back with another good win while the squad is exhausted, and a few of the injured boys are starting to come back in. But if you peek at the top left corner, we still have an unbeaten streak of home games to defend. Why is it that whenever I draw against a Super League team in the Cup, the schedule is always perfectly aligned with our league matches? Well, right after that success in the Cup, I'm informed that when qualifying for the Champions League via league position, I had to go through the playoffs first. Another draw barely scraped from the claws of defeat. And what the fuck is this in aid of? What does it mean? An excellent intake? Press X to doubt. There's a couple of weeks break in the summer, so I booked a few friendlies against low tier teams to maintain form and fitness, and my jaw actually dropped when my assistant came back to me with this result. And oh my god, how in the hell did our unbeaten home run survive this one? Evra Murden, you are a hero. As for our other star, Cheng Ming, is injured again. It feels like we only just got him back from that first one. At this rate, the amount of draws we are dropping is starting to become a concern. The first half of the season has officially begun. We break our streak of ties with a solid win against a relegation contender, and things are looking mighty close on both ends of the table. And I'm actually a bit annoyed at this. We shouldn't be conceding draws to teams of this calibre anymore. Oh damn, I didn't even see this one happen. Farewell my friend, your moments of brilliance far outweighed your potential ability, and I bid you good luck on your future journeys. When our time comes for round 2 against Henan, an absolute disaster unfolds in the first half. I don't understand what actually happened there. I just suspect that this result will cost us in the long run. Never mind, because Shandong and Hainou immediately bottle any advantage they could have gained from it. I'm reading the news report from our ACL qualifier, and it says we are happy to make it past the group stage. Except we haven't even reached the group stage yet. This match was trying to make it there? For over 5 years, Three Towns has been my kryptonite. And we just completed a double against them in an absolutely disgusting fashion. They had 28% possession. We hop into our next ACL qualifier and witness this atrocious pass right before we bag a beauty. That mistake then escalated into a hat-trick for that surprise attacking midfielder youth, who have actually started playing as a false 9 because I was being let down by my actual strikers, and because, well, for a while, I've always been kind of fascinated by false 9s, and I rarely get players who can actually function in that role. These 2 ACL qualifiers actually postponed my FA Cup quarterfinal by so much that it looks like it's now happening after the semis. But with 2 wins in 2, we are fully confirmed for the ACL group stage. We get teams from Japan, Hong Kong and Bangladesh, And honestly, I like my odds of coming second in this group. We could sneak our way into the knockouts as the lower seed. And there it is. Confirmation that our quarterfinal is happening on the same day as the other half of the bracket has their semi. And that quarter saw our captain put out this utterly heroic move to set up a goal. But alas, it was not enough. I am very angry with whatever the fuck Ahmedov did here. Oh, Ahmedov, you son of a bitch. Pleasant surprise came. Youth striker had given up on 1 goal of the month while on loan at a relegation contender. So, good for him. That's a very nice strike. But this pleasant surprise was not enough. The reigning champions have been having an uncharacteristically bad season and are currently 6th, while I'm barely holding on to that final ACL spot in 4th, and I lose to them like this. We've actually gone from contending the title to a 0-0 draw against the worst team in the league. Oh, please let this late win be the turning point that we need in our domestic form. Oh crap, it might be because we lucked out huge in this away win against the league leaders. Nah, there goes any ground we just gained in the continental race. Over in this season's ACL, our opening fixture was diabolical. Side note, a couple of years ago when we were in the ACL off of that freak FA Cup win, our group actually had Osaka and Kichi in. Well, we're in the same group as both of them again now. Coincidence? Oh wait, yay! The Chinese Football Reviewer recognised me as a title contender, and that right there is a huge win. The chase is still very much on, especially as we're now 1 point behind third and have a game in hand on them. The rest of that week's results come in and it dawns on me. There's actually only one competitor for the title if we win our games in hand. But in a week where my biggest threat drops points with a 1-0 draw, we succumb to a 3-3. Back over to the ACL, and our home match against Hong Kong saw them concede this embarrassing goal. That match then descended into this absolute clusterfuck, following which another high goal game saw us win 4-1, but this still leaves us 3 points behind first. It's within reach, we just have to rise to the occasion. And when we take a win against a representative from Bangladesh, it dawns on me that these groups only have one team advancing. Unless we pull off a major upset, we're being eliminated. This disappointing realisation is followed by a draw to the team directly beneath us, which should keep us in contention for the ACL at least. But we then lose our game in hand, which sends us right out of that slot going into the final week. We need help, and as fate would have it, we got it. The fixture list for that final week put us against a mid-table performer while putting a number of top 4 contenders against each other. They all drop points to each other while I breeze a 2-0 win and secure 3rd place for the season. And while it would have been nice if we were the ones to unseat them, I'm going to celebrate regardless because SH Port have finally failed to win the league for the first time since this save began. To add to the celebrations, my false 9 won under 23 player of the year, my star centre back made team of the year, and my loaned out striker also got featured on the team of the year. He really did a number to be recognised as one of the best performing strikers in the league on a team that was at the literal bottom of the table. On top of these accolades, and despite being eliminated long before the final, we picked up the MVP award for the FA Cup. And to help round things out for this season, our last 3 ACL fixtures were, well, predictable. Wins where we won before, losses where we lost before. Except that last match in Bangladesh was criminal. My centre-back scored 4 goals, and among the other 5 goals was this own goal and a very cocky assist from Wang Peng. And I'll be honest, I don't understand the ACL format at all, but apparently we qualified for the knockouts despite it saying only 1 team per group goes through, and oh fuck. That's Osaka again. Well, that's going to be a very interesting start to next year. And to top it all off, we were drawn in the same group as them both times we qualified, remember that? Both times we were also in Group H. Who wrote this script? Oh wait, okay wait, actually, who wrote the script? Because this is the final image in the file. I have no idea where I was planning to take this video.